have my sources," Dell said, leaning in. "And it just so happens that Trotter's independent traders under the new and vibrant leadership of Rodney here has just acquired a consignment of high-performance shock absorbers. Straight from Germany." "Germany?" Denzel asked. "Or a garage in Lewisham?" Dell looked hurt. "Denzel, would I lie to you? They're military grade, built to withstand a direct hit from a tank. Your van will feel like a magic carpet." "How much?" Denzel asked, his curiosity getting the better of his common sense. "For you, a mere £100, plus a small administration fee for the managing director." Dell nudged Rodney. Rodney, tell him about the quality." Rodney looked at Denzel, then at Dell, then at his beer. "They're round, and they've got springs, I think." "See?" Dell beamed. "The man's a genius. Right, let's seal the deal." Sid, "A round for my friends," on Rodney's tab. Chapter 17, The Suitcase in the Van. The sun was beginning to set over Peckham, casting long, orange shadows over the estate. Dell and Rodney were back at the van, the shock absorbers, which looked suspiciously like painted PVC pipes, safely stowed in the back. Dell reached into the van and pulled out a battered leather suitcase. He handled it with a reverence usually reserved for religious relics. "This is it, Rodney," Dell said, his voice dropping to a whisper. "The beginning of the comeback." "Dell, it's a suitcase," Rodney said. "What's in it?" "More umbrellas." Dell popped the latches. Inside were hundreds of small, plastic devices that looked like a cross between a calculator and a remote control. "Electronic personal organizers," Dell announced. "The future of business, Rodney. Every man in London is going to want one. It's got a clock, a calendar, and a button that makes a beeping noise. Dell, everyone has these on their phones now," Rodney said, holding one up. "It's 2002. This technology is practically prehistoric." Dell shook his head, a look of pity on his face. "That's where you're wrong, Rodney. People miss the tactile experience. They want something they can hold, something with weight. These are vintage tech. It's the latest trend. I'm telling you, by this time next year." Rodney cut him off. "We'll be millionaires." "I know. Dell, I know." They stood there for a moment, two brothers in a three-wheeled van, surrounded by the debris of 100 failed schemes and the flickering hope of 1,000 more. "I'll fetch the suitcase from the van," Dell repeated, a small smile playing on his lips. "Because where it all comes from is a mystery, Rodney. But as long as we're together, we're the bestest." Rodney looked at the suitcase, then at his brother. He let out a long, slow breath and climbed into the passenger seat. "All right, Dell, drive on. But if we pass a skip, those shock absorbers are going in it." "Deal." Dell laughed, turning the key. The engine coughed, spluttered, and finally roared into life. Next stop, Paris. Or maybe just the car boot sale in Sidcup. Mange Tout, Rodney. Mange Tout. Chapter 18, The Market's Cold Shoulder. Monday morning in Peckham Market was a sensory assault. The air was a thick soup of diesel fumes, frying onions from a nearby burger van, and the desperate cries of stallholders trying to offload items that had clearly fallen off the back of a very fast-moving truck. Rodney stood behind a makeshift table, shivering in a thin coat. He was holding one of the electronic personal organizers. He looked about as comfortable as a penguin in a sauna. "Go on, Rodney. Give Em the patter," Dell urged from the safety of a nearby tea stall. "Don't just stand there like a Statue of Liberty with a hangover. Sell the dream." Rodney cleared his throat. Step up, everyone. Organize your life. With this plastic thing. It has a clock, and it beeps. A woman in a tracksuit stopped and looked at the device. "Does it have a camera?" "No," Rodney said honestly. "Does it have the internet?" "No." "What does it do then?" "Well," Rodney struggled, "if you forget what day it is, you can press this button and it will tell you, provided you've set the date correctly, which is quite a complex process, to be honest." The woman walked away. Shaking her head, Dell stormed over, his face redder than a ripe tomato. "Rodney, what are you doing? You're not selling a funeral, you're selling the future. Look, watch the master." Dell grabbed an organizer and held it aloft. "Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Are you tired of carrying around heavy books? Are you tired of losing your place in your diary? Introducing the Trotter 2000. It's used by astronauts. It's used by international spies. It's so secret that even the government doesn't want you to have one." A small crowd gathered. Dell's eyes sparkled. "It's got a high-definition liquid crystal display. It's got a built-in alarm system to warn you of approaching birthdays. And for today only, because my brother here has just been made managing director and he's feeling generous, you can have it for a tenner." "A tenner," a man shouted. "I can get a real one for a $5 down at the pound shop." "Ah, but does the pound shop one come with a lifetime guarantee from Trotter's independent traders?" Dell shot back. "And does it have the emergency beep function? I think not." The crowd began to disperse. Rodney sighed. "Dell, it's no use. People aren't stupid. They know a piece of junk when they see one." "Junk," Dell whispered, horrified. "This is vintage, Rodney. It's retro. We just haven't found our target market yet. We need a specialist buyer." "Like who? A museum for failed inventions." "No," Dell said, a slow grin spreading across his face. "I know exactly who. Boyke." Chapter 19, The Strategy Meeting. That evening, the living room of Nelson Mandela House was converted into a high-level boardroom. Rodney was sitting at the table with a notepad, trying to look professional. Raquel was in the kitchen, and the distant sound of Damien playing a video game provided a